Daniel's being mean.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Beyond the tavern wall, that's where you're at. I'm excited to be here today. We got Daniel. He's here. We got Sam. We got Kendall. We got Hunter. We're restarting. This is exactly where we're at. Daniel, you're back. You're back. How are you doing?
Right. It's good to be back, guys. I'm excited to be here and excited to see everyone again. I survived Paris, and I made it back to, the land of
the free and home of the brave.
I mean, what is
that's what my anthem says, brother.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what my anthem says. No, we're excited to have you back, Daniel.
Yeah, good to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna jump into our episode. Daniel obviously will be here sharing his input, giving us in. Since Daniel's back now and can join us a little bit more, you'll probably see Daniel on a bit more episodes from now on. Whether it's filling in for Haley, who's not here, or one of us who's not here, or just we want to have him in, that's kind of what it's going to be like. So I hope you guys are excited and you get to hear his beautiful and lovely voice, because we love to hear him and his thoughts on a lot of D&D. Daniel is actually, when we originally wanted to do a podcast, Daniel was part of the original crew until he said he was going to Paris, and we kicked him out immediately because he was going to France.
Yeah, let's not talk about how much we hate France. We could go on for hours.
Just our third most popular country that listens to our podcast, okay?
Right behind the States and the French part of Canada.
And the French part of Canada.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, it's the part above us. Shout out Paige, Mama Paige. And she'll love it that I shouted her out, because Paige always is like, my mom loves when you shout her out. And I think it's awesome that her mom listens to the podcast. We're going to jump in today. We're going to be talking about, for crits and giggles, guys, we're going to be talking about humor. All right, for crits and giggles. Now, I can't take that joke. Hunter wrote that down in our sheet. He came up with the name, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's funny. So we're going to be talking about the role of humor, in your D&D campaign. How it can be used, when is the best time to use it, and the one I'm a little bit, not that I hate humor, but I also think there needs to be a little bit of balance, is when is the time to kind of keep it within yourself, So I'm going to talk about, we're going to throw this out there real fast. What is your guys' most humorous memory of D&D?
Probably Roland having a heart attack.
Those were some good moments. I'm so sad I was gone for the one that he actually kicked the dust on.
That was pretty funny.
It was wild. It
wasn't even suspenseful or anything.
You wanted to die.
He's dead. I wanted to play a new character, and I was tired of waiting for a moment to sacrifice myself in a heroic way. So I thought, hey, he's old. Roland has a heart condition. He just dies.
That day, you literally rolled like 15 times.
Gone but never forgotten.
He's forgotten. Who's Roland? Just kidding. So that going on. What else?
So I have two. The first one was way back when Everin was confessing his love to Bast, and somebody was having diarrhea in the room next door. And they slammed their hands on the wall. I think, Daniel, were you there for that? Okay, that was really funny.
Yes,
and then I what I can think of recently is I was role playing, and Amber, who plays Hester in our group, burped, and Bast was already like really agitated. So me as Bast, I just whipped my head around and I yelled at her, and I was like, "Say excuse me," and I thought that was fun.
That was good, yeah. Bast is really good. Bast is her naivete, is that the right word? Was pretty fun to mess around with at the beginning as well. So
yeah, for sure.
Her constantly like, you want a pamphlet of Cleotha?
Yeah.
Yep. Daniel, Hunter, what about you two?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of great moments that either happen just like sporadically, like sometimes it's just like I think a lot of humor comes from the results of a roll, right?
Yes.
Like I think one of the best instances is something that we've talked about on the occasion was one of my characters in an earlier campaign did a perception check and it was so bad. It was like a natural 1 or something. And Braden as the DM was just like, yeah, there's just like this wall here and there's something about it. And I just decided to run with it with my character and I'm like, but what about this wall? There's something about this wall here. And it just like became like a running sort of thing, right? Like anytime there was a wall, it was my character was like, but what about this wall? And like, you know.
So Hunter, Sam, and Kendall, whenever I say that, whenever I've said that, when you guys have rolled bad on a perception check, it's because of that story right there.
Yeah.
And it's been an inside joke that I have only had for so long.
I'm sorry, you
But
rolled a bad perception check and mentioned me at the same time. They can't coexist.
No, I'm just saying in general because you've been in the party when I've said that, right? No, that's actually one of the stories I was going to share. That was one of the best, and just being able to roll with the punches on that was really funny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and like going off of that, I think like just like moments with characters that are either just like deliver a deadpan joke or are interacting with something in a way their character would that can create like humorous situation, I think is always a fun way to have humor in D&D,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think Farron does that a lot with his
I like books.
I don't even know how to describe him.
I'm a bird.
It's not like he's stupid. It's
Oblivious.
just he just has like a different priorities than everybody else. And then it just comes across like he doesn't care, but he does. It's just his priorities are so different.
It's true.
He's a bird and he likes books. I mean, what more do you need to know?
That's true.
A bird. Only thing that's really coming to mind was this last week on Monday.
When Hunter got laid, when Strider got laid.
Oh, I need to hear this story.
We'll tell you after.
Because you roll precise.
Really, the thing that was hilarious was there was an assassination attempt that was happening at the ball. Yeah, you guys missed.
We'll catch you in after the episode.
We missed more than that. Okay.
Yeah, but basically, Strider had already left to go meet up with Violet and exchange information.
Yeah.
And then we go through. It was originally just an exchange of information, and then things, led one way to another, and we got past that sequence, and then it was like, okay, we're going back to the ball. Anyways, faces, you see this shady figure in the side who's getting ready, like, this whole sequence, and we're just like, okay, this dude's clearly getting ready to assassinate this person, and it's like, Strider's getting laid right now anyway.
One of the best part about it, I truly did not plan a ton for that session. And I was kind of expecting you to bring everyone with you and kind of just like leave a little bit. And I was like, okay, we can kind of go on from there. And I was like, okay, maybe there'll be like a fight or something that breaks out and we'll do that. And I was just like, I don't know now that Strider has left Hester and Faces at the ball and everyone else, how I'm going to do anything. So the assassination plot kind of just appeared out of nowhere.
Okay, it worked.
So it goes along with what was happening beforehand, but I was just kind of like, they got to experience something. Okay. So I think one of my favorite parts, one of my funniest moments I've had, you guys always make fun of me for my door sounds and my zombie sounds. That's a Curse of Strahd first campaign. That was a
there was no heart or soul in that.
That was a zipper.
That was the best door I've ever heard.
That was a really good door. I was doing it. They entered like the gates of Barovia, and I tried to do like a gate opening sound, but it ended up sounding like a zombie, and they made fun of me for that the rest of the forever. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite moments because there's just moments like that are just they stick with you forever and they become inside jokes no matter how long you've been. And I think that's one of the cool things about D&D is that the humorous parts will last. I mean, that was 2020, 2019 maybe, that those two jokes, the door and the um and the door and the wall, the door and the wall. And then also Nate, when he said door, make it like from a Stranger Things, that's something we joke about a lot as well now. So just those things we've been able to like bond over and make inside jokes about. And so that leads us to our next question is, why do we like to joke around the table?
Because it's nice to laugh.
Laughing gives you the good brain drugs.
Yes.
And my brain doesn't make those on their own.
Do you want to expound on that a little bit?
I have depression. That's what it is. Yeah, that's right there. We're good. We're doing great.
Yay!
I'm in a happy spot. We're good.
That's why we play D&D, to play out our most, incredible fantasies, such as having a healthy brain and being able to laugh with friends.
And own a
now we just
house and wake up at the crack of dawn. Those are the true fantasies, okay? But joking around the table. I think joking around, exactly what you said. It's like kind of like, it's a stress relief. It's a ability just to kind of let loose from your worries of the world. Like I do struggle with depression. I do struggle with anxiety and ADHD and all that stuff to a very, very major degree. But D&D I'm able to use D&D as a way to laugh a lot of that stuff off. Laugh a lot of the way and just forget about that stuff for a minute, which will allow me to kind of reset everything. I get to hang out with my best friends in the world. I get to hang out, laugh, tell a story, which I love to do, and just enjoy time with them. And joking around is one of my favorite things to do. And being able to do it in a fantasy setting is just it's so relieving. We've talked about therapy and D&D, and that's just one way that it can be a therapy.
I agree. I don't have anything to add.
Come on, add something, Kendall.
Okay, well, I think that's stupid and dumb.
I said add, not subtract. Sheesh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's and,
that
Kendall.
So
that's and.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're supposed to, even if you don't agree, you're supposed to say everything I want to say. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I also think humor is the great bonder across universes, across anything. Humor creates bonds that are stronger, in my opinion, than bonds you would receive from just like getting to know somebody through conversation.
It's true.
You ever met two friends that don't laugh together?
They're not real friends.
True. Not real.
I mean, but even going beyond that, like laughter has been like scientifically proven to be like a more effective way to like teach people things, a more effective way to stimulate memory. Kind of like what we were talking about, right? Like the inside jokes last with us so long because humor is like another it's almost like the sixth sense is humor, right? The sense of humor. Whoa.
Whoa.
No. Or no, plot twist. But like
my eyes are opened.
Yeah, so like not only does it help like stimulate memory and cognitive function, bonds, friendships, but like even it has this very special place in D&D because, humor helps us remember our plot lines or remember scenarios or situations because there was something funny that was tied to it, right? Like who could forget the big boss battle with iridocyclitis? Just kidding.
That was good.
Penelope Colitis. No, it was Penelope, and I just thought Colitis was a dope name, and then freaking Daniel over here, Iridocyclitis.
for our D&D, for our listeners back home,
no, don't give them any context.
Give them the
context. In Dungeons and Dragons, there's a very common trope at the D&D table where a DM will introduce a character or a city name, and everyone in the party will just immediately butcher the name and tie it to a funny sounding name or something like that. And then it just kind of sticks as a funny, sense of humor.
Example number 2 is in Critical Role Campaign 2. There was Jumanji Costco, or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, Jumanji Costco," and that's the blight of being a DM. There you go. I'm not bitter. Good thing she's dead. Okay.
Yeah, we murdered her horde.
Or so you think. Anyway,
She's gonna come back again.
she's gonna come back a third time.
I gotta teach you this lesson, old man.
So going off kind of all of that. So obviously there's jokes that go on and all that, but sometimes a joke can be taken too far, right? So when does a joke go too far?
Never.
Oh, okay, never mind. Moving on. So how do you distinguish between joking in character or as a player?
I think accents are very good for this.
Okay, we're going back.
Okay.
What is it? Nope. Oh, okay, sorry. So how do we? When do jokes go too far?
When the tears start rolling.
And maybe it's not in the sense of. I mean, yes, there's a little bit of like pushing one too far. We'll say like, for example, we made a lot of D's nuts jokes.
Yeah.
And I made a D's nuts jokes to Amber once when we worked together, and it was too far, and she got really pissed. And now we're not allowed to do D's nuts jokes anymore, which is totally fine. So like there's that side where it kind of becomes offensive to someone, or you push like someone's boundaries a little bit too far. But there's also jokes that kind of just run their course, right? So like at what point do you kind of have to let a joke die?
When Roland dies.
Gosh.
Because he's always alive in our heart, so never's gonna die.
It's just
He's immortal.
hard to determine when that is, because everybody's so different. Every campaign is different. Every party dynamic is different, right? For me personally, the whole like Bast is a cat thing, I never thought it was offensive or anything. It's just now I'm just kind of like, we're still doing this bit, guys. You know, like we're still doing it. But to you guys, you still find enjoyment out of that. So who am I to say to stop doing that, you know?
That being said, another Bast joke that seems to be a little long lasting. How's the Bast alcoholic thing going for you?
So for me, I'm a really like self-conscious person, and so whenever you guys make that joke, I'm like, they're trying to tell me I'm really bad at acting drunk. I need to stop. You know?
I don't think any of us are good at acting drunk. I don't think anyone in this, I could be wrong, has ever gotten drunk.
I mean, I can think of at least one person here that's had alcohol.
I have accidentally drank sake before. And it was disgusting. I felt great after, though.
The face you made after was like, ooh.
Yeah, because it tasted like cough syrup, like grape cough syrup without the grape flavor.
I'm a little concerned that they didn't have ideas before they started doing that.
They're just like, hey, a 3-year-old. I want to build off. Sorry, was anyone wanting to say something? I might have just cut off.
Go ahead. Good.
No, Hunter, you.
I hadn't even started saying anything, so you're good.
Oh, I thought someone was speaking up, and then we talked about sake. So I was gonna say, I feel like even at that point, like the Bast is a cat joke, like, yes, it may be funny to us, but at the same time, it's been going on for so long that it can get overused like that. I think the difference between a joke being overused and one that is not is the frequency of what is being said. Like, obviously, like if we were every single session, every single hour, oh, Best is a cat, like, yeah, that gets boring. I think of Doug, the streamer. He gets called bald all the time. And he is like sick, or like his chat goes on strike, you know, they do 3 dots and all that. And that just grew old because of how often and how little it contributed to the conversation. And that's when a joke grows old, is when it ruins your immersion, when it derails the whole role playing session, that's when a joke gets old.
Yeah, I couldn't really articulate it, but that makes sense. Thank you, Brayden.
So I think like Bast as a cat can kind of still roll with the session a little bit. That's why for us it's a little funny still at this point. But like it's still like, yeah, that to a point the Bast as a cat might become like, all right, guys, we're done with this joke. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think kind of circling back, Brayden, how you talked about how it can break immersion, because there are definitely very serious moments in roleplay where somebody is having like a big character moment or things like that, and they're wanting to experience this moment without the distraction of whatever else is going on at the table. And then somebody can just crack a joke partway through. I am guilty of having done this a couple of times. I'm trying to be better. But it sucks
you're
when
on
you're
thin
having
ice,
that
bud.
moment. I know. I'm trying, okay? It's just so hard, okay? Give me a break.
No.
Recovering.
No. There is no breaks.
Yeah, I know I've had times like that where I was like, I am trying my hardest to not be a cringy actor right now. And then somebody just makes a joke. And thankfully, I don't know if it's me, like, to get used to that, I have disassociated a little bit more, if that makes sense, to just not care as much. But I do have times where I'm like, this is a serious moment. Could we please just all take a breath and lock in, you know?
I want to talk about this a little bit more because this is a big thing I feel like we've struggled with as a group, and it gets to a point for me as the DM where it makes D&D not fun.
Yeah.
Because I work on this. I don't have a problem with humor. I think humor is great. I think you need humor in a campaign in order to, because again, we're not Critical Role. We're not this fantastic, serious group. Like, we're a jovial, lighthearted group, and that's totally fine and awesome. There just needs to be a point where like we got to get serious too, right? And me as a DM, where I do like having serious role play and serious, like, my campaigns are in a sense darker than normal. Like, I'm trying to lighten it up. I felt like we've been a lot better at making more lighthearted jokes about every stuff. I mean, we freaking had Georgette, the fairy, the pixie fairy seamstress that is always within 150 meters of Theron. We built on her character too. She has simulacrums everywhere. That's why she's always
she has a straining order.
Feet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, for me, and I want to talk to you guys about this, get your thoughts. How does a group, how do you balance like the jokes, and or how do you balance those jokes when a serious conversation or serious role player is happening? As a player, what can you do, and what can the DM do to kind of, because I am terrible at it. I have, like I've said, I have ADHD. I have to say something when it comes to my head, or I begin to panic, kind of deal. So, like, that's kind of where I get to. So how does a group, a DM and a player, balance that?
What I have noticed within myself, and I don't want to put this pressure on you, Brayden, because you already have so much pressure, but to me, I look to the DM to set the tone. So if the DM is, not if the DM's laughing, like, the DM can laugh, like, that's completely fine. But if the DM is continuing the joke and yes-anding it and making it bigger, I'm like, okay, it's silly goofy time, blah, 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 you know. But I have noticed when you are focused and you are locked into what's happening, I focus, right? And then another thing I've noticed is we need to be more invested in each other's stories. Because right now I feel like we're all invested in our own story, but we're not invested in each other's. So when we're not role playing and it's not happening to me, well, I can goof off with Sam. I can make a joke with Haley, you know, because it's not happening to me. Right? So I think the issue at least with our group, and I know other groups have this same issue of just be involved with each other's stories, care about what's going on.
Listening with the intent to listen.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just about like, reading the room, right? The physical room that you're in with your friends, but also the metaphorical room that you've set up in the theater of the mind, or the little place set in front of you, whatever. But that does take, yeah, like Kendall was saying, it takes attention and to read those situations. And, the more practice that you get with being able to like catch the vibes, so to speak, the more you're able to understand this is a moment that maybe I should be more serious, or it would be really funny if I just said something really right here offhand. It's all about that sort of understanding what's going on in the moment and understanding how your character and your character's investment in the other characters would go, right? Kind of like what you were saying, Kendall, right? Like it's hard to understand Farron as a character and his motivations and why he does these funny quips and things like that. But it really is just like me understanding who Farron is as a character and how he would relate to the people around him and things like that. So when you understand those dynamics, then you can usually understand a little bit more if something's a funny moment or should be a serious moment or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you find the balance of that though? Because there are times where a humorous quip or quote or whatever can be good in a serious situation. You obviously talked about reading the room and all that stuff. Like for me, I'm not a serious person at all. Like I like to joke. I like to make fun of things. And when I live at my in-laws now and we'll be talking all that. And there's one thing I'm told a lot is that I'm really good at making like not light of situations, but situations lighter, I guess is the better way is a good way of putting it. So like for me, I've not, like I've said 1,000 times, my experience as a DM my experience as a in D&D is as a DM. I have played a grand total of maybe 50, I would say less, like 30 sessions in my D&D career. How do I, as a newish player, learn to balance the seriousness with the jovialness that you can have?
I would say don't worry about getting those insert jokes in until you are comfortable, right? Because I feel like an insert offhanded derailing joke is for when you are comfortable with the dynamic of your party. So when it's someone else's time to shine, meaning like they're the one that is role playing or we're doing a story arc for them right now, that's your turn to observe. And like if you notice something funny about that character during that time, write it down and then you can do a joke about that once the dynamic is more set in stone. And once you feel more comfortable. But for right now, as a beginner, I would say your job is to speak when it's your turn, meaning like it's your story arc or someone's talking to you, and to really listen when everybody else is.
I want to hear from Hunter and Sam a little bit because they've been kind of quiet throughout this whole thing. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
The perpetrator of all these jokes. I speak up way more than I should. I'm just trying to keep my head down here.
You want me to be honest? And I'm not going to throw Hunter under the bus a little bit. I think Hunter is probably one of the biggest perpetrators in our group. Yeah. He's done a lot better recently. I think Hunter, though, for a bit was the big perpetrator.
Yeah. What was the joke of choice?
Yes, it was just Hunter being a Hunter, throwing in the clips that he can, and they're good in the moment. Well, they're good, just not in the moment,
I really am trying to be better.
And you've done a lot better. You guys have all done better. I think as of recently, we've all been a lot better. So
thanks, Dad.
It's the table.
It is. We have a table, so
we're not just like vibing on the couch anymore. It's great.
that is part of it. I think the environment has helped, but I don't know. It's for me. It was also just kind of like we don't hang out like a ton. So when we're together, like I love spending time with you guys, and I love to like joke and whatnot, and just laugh and have a good time. Um, but
no, we need to hang out more. Oh
oh no,
no.
No, I'm fine.
terrible. Ouch. Worries for you.
Not like we're on games you guys are on games almost every single night. I hop on and I look over, the Discord's full with you three, Riley, Amber, Haley joins sometimes, like it's y'all busy, y'all just playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of my thoughts have already been said. Just kind of finding the right moment to make those jokes. Maybe waiting till a session is over to make some of these jokes that would kind of take away from the immersion. Which I mean, it is very difficult because I relate a little bit to kind of like, oh, here's a funny thing that I could say. If I don't say it now, I'm going to hate myself because I think it's hilarious and I'm going to forget. So I think writing it down is actually a really good idea that you brought up. I don't know. It's difficult to find that balance. It just depends on your dynamic with the table, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was like thought about as well is finding the right moment to say a joke in a D&D session is basically finding the right moment to say jokes in a friendship, right? Like
I was
what
just
you were
about to
talking
say
about.
that, Daniel.
Hey, in sync. Wow, or Backstreet Boys, whatever your preference
It's
is.
really bad. I did not, when you said in, my brain did not go to sync. I went to another in. I was like, why are you saying that word?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But and Kendall can, vouch for this or maybe give her perspective as well. But like when you were talking about Amber, right? Like you said a joke that, she wasn't comfortable with. And so you kind of learned that dynamic from there and you moved forward with that. And it's the same thing in our friendships. Like when you join a friend group, you probably are a little bit more reserved because you're learning the dynamic, right? You're probably not shooting off to strangers your, solid quips and things like that. But the more you get comfortable with people, the more you start to naturally understand the dynamic and the more you're able to naturally joke with each other and things. And that's, D&D is the friends we made along the way, and those dynamics are the same in the game as they are outside of the game.
Boo!
All right, that's it.
Man,
Go back.
Going, boo! Stay.
No, yeah, I completely agree. And for an example, I was just, as you were saying that, I was thinking if Hunter talked to me the way he does now when I first met him, I don't know if I would have liked him.
Ouch.
No. Like in the sense, because like Hunter's always like smack talking under his breath, like constantly. And so,
No.
but when I first met him, he was very nice and polite, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy's nice, great, cool." But now that I know he's constantly smack talking,
now that I know
breath,
that he's a big jerk,
he's a big jerk. No, he's not a jerk. He's fun, but
that's okay. Well, it's yeah. So this brings up another point. Okay, actually, I do want to say the joke with Amber that I made was just, it was pretty brutal. Okay, it was brutal in the sense of like how the joke. It was, we had been in a D&D group for a little bit, and there's a new book coming out, and I was like, "Hey, Amber, have you heard about the new book coming out with the mind goblins?"
Oh,
and she's
no,
like, "No way!" I hit her
goblin?
with the mind goblin, and she got pissed, and I feel terrible. Okay, Amber, please forgive me. I feel bad for the joke. I still do say it was the best, like, these nuts jokes I've ever had in my life, but I feel terrible that it was on Amber. Yeah. It just worked. It was like the perfect situation, and I feel bad. But all this talk brings up another point that needs to be discussed is how do you distinguish between joking in character or joking as a player? Because that's a lot of times what happens is like a lot of the quips will be out of character, and that brings the entire group out of character in a way it breaks the immersion. Where sometimes some of these quips, if they're said in character, might actually immerse the people a lot more, and you get a joke like that's canon. That's what Strider said. That's what Backpack Boy said, and like you make jokes, you make jokes about that. You make your jokes. You make jokes about that, like forever going along with it. Like imagine if Daniel, instead of being Tristan, was like, oh yeah, something about this wall, instead of being like he was in character being like Tristan was obsessed with the wall, you know? And it was able to build that kind of joke along with it. So how do you distinguish between those two different ways of joking?
I wants to say it can almost come down to like a character voice. I know a lot of us will kind of talk with our regular voice, not really putting an accent on anything. But I feel like each of us, when we are acting as our character, there is like a specific cadence that we follow. So if you're able to recognize that, that makes it a little easier to distinguish. But it's definitely not always easy to catch that.
Yeah, for sure. With Sam, it's a little hard because Sam, I'm not throwing you under the bus, babe. I love you so much.
No, do it. Throw me under the bus.
Okay, because BB is just
I'm ready to run him over.
So Sam does the BB voice, which is basically just him but innocent.
It's true.
And so it's like, I don't know. It's just Sam, but he was born yesterday. So like, I don't know. Sometimes if it's Sam or if it's BB. But usually with context clues I can figure it out. But in the moment I'm just kind of like, wait, hold on a second. I need to think about this.
Any comment on that, Sam?
Yeah, I haven't found any confidence to choose like a way to talk as BB.
You gotta be.
There's no accent or anything that I think fits him. He's just annoying.
I think the innocence is different enough though.
Yeah.
Like it's easy enough to make the difference. I think who's the hardest in this group to like
Strider?
distinguish? He's dark and brooding.
I'm very monotone when I'm kind of talking as Strider.
Gotta be Bass.
Just kidding. Yeah, Farron and Bass to the worst.
I sound exactly like Farron when I talk.
Yeah,
I sound exactly like Bass too.
Yeah.
No British accent to be seen.
It's definitely
because my accent's really bad. Do you get it?
Faces is actually.
No, he's really easy to.
I think this group does a pretty decent job at.
Maybe Lyria?
No, Haley. Haley changes when she gets into D&D mode. Like there's a distinct difference between Haley and Haley Lyria and Haley. You know, same voice, but just a little bit more serious than how Haley is. It might be me. Just just kidding. I only talk in British, Scottish accents or Southern exclusively when I play D&D. I feel like as well there is just that little bit of time where a joke is made out of character that is like totally like out of character. Like the character itself just would not say that. You know, like if Strider goes off and all of a sudden it's just like says something completely not dark and brooding and just kind of like wild and weird and lighthearted and happy, you know, like he just wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, Strider would not say
Heaven forbid he be happy.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's a little bit after this. Am I right?
What I want to kind of mention as well is that it kind of has to do with like another way you can help distinguish is just using the context of the world that you're in, right? Like, you know, for example, like, you know, when we made the joke about Wandies, right? Like we didn't make the joke about Wendy's. We made the joke about Wandies. Like we contextualized it in the world, so it made more sense in the world, right?
Oh, and it's just so love when we bring in real world corporations. No, actually, I enjoy those jokes.
But no, like just like contextualizing the joke into your character into the world, right? Like, you know,
how would Strider say this, or how would Backpack Boy say this instead of Hunter and Sam say it this way? Like my character would say that joke this way.
Yeah, like, like Strider or Backpack Boy or Bast wouldn't be like, "Did you see this TikTok?" Because that wouldn't make any sense,
Yeah.
right? Like, we would have to, "Did you see this, minstrel show?" Or not minstrel show, but like, something
No.
like that.
No, yeah, that would that would work.
No.
What was it?
No, anything but
You
that.
had a good one. I'm trying to look up the artist, but Daniel did a really good one when he was talking to Nirikov, and Nirikov was down and depressed because he had lost Faye and all that. And they're talking, and he was just like, in the words of who sings the "I get knocked down, but I get up again."
Chunga Wunga.
Chunga, yeah.
I don't know.
It is Chumbawamba tub thumping.
Chumbawamba.
Please, people.
Tub-
Yes, sorry, I don't know. So Daniel was like, in the words of the great prophet or great priest Chumbawamba, I get knocked down, but I get up again. And he said that in the world, which one, as a DM, I'm slightly pissed because now Chumbawamba exists in my world. And two, I'm so proud because that is hilarious. I will also say, I think that is my favorite part of any actual plays or stuff, when they kind of bring in like the real world, like, oh yeah, like Chumbawamba, and you're just like, when they create this humorous aspect of the world now that actually, like, as a DM you hate but you love at the same time, because now it's just this weird random canon in your world.
Canon now.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it's set in character, and that's the one way. If you want to piss off your DM or just make him laugh at the same time, just pull in random crap. We brought up we have I have a whole list of the random
We have like
stuff.
Harry Potter.
No, we don't have Harry Potter.
We don't?
We have Perry Hotter.
We have Perry Hotter.
Yeah. Come on, we're very unique.
What a
when
wonderful play.
Yeah, what a wonderful play. We have Galaxy Battles. Is Star Wars. We have a bunch. I have a whole list. I'm not gonna pull it up because it's on a doc, but I have a whole list of just random stuff y'all have brought in to the world, just because I get to keep it. Wandy's Magician Cuisine is McDonald's. We have I guess we have Bo Jiden.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that one. Bo Jiden.
Ozzy Osbourne canon next session.
Ozzy Osbourne. Way to switch the O's on that. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh no,
really
it's
good.
just regular Ozzy Osbourne. We all know
I
that
think-
he's just like an extra dimensional being that can traverse.
We've had a few characters that are just themselves. I think Jack Black is one of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Black is.
He has been brought up.
And he would.
So let's go on before we wrap up. Let's answer this last one. Is using humor as a DM, okay? And maybe this is a good way you guys can give me some advice with it as well. Is how can a DM use humor as a relief for tension, setting the mood, or even deepening the emotional impact of the game?
Callbacks.
And keeping the flow of it. Callbacks, great, yes, fantastic. The wall.
Using the environment. Because like let's say you are talking with a character, and maybe like you're whispering to each other because you can't be found out, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna turn to them and look at them, and then the DM can just say, you're literally like, there's a wall between you, or something like that. Like, just use the environment to switch up and change the expectations or the perception of what's happening.
I go the polar opposite of you two. A little bit more on deepening emotional impact or even setting a mood. Having a BBEG use like the murder of somebody from your party or somebody they knew as a joke, just to show they don't care.
That's
effed up, dude. That's not humorous.
That's
humor as a
so
character.
Good.
Showing that they don't care. They don't see them as a threat.
Well, I mean, yeah, you remember your turtle? I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I'll have to look up this to confirm it, but I think at one point yeah, okay, I remember it now. At one point when J.K. Rowling was writing Harry Potter, instead of Bellatrix killing Sirius, she was gonna have Bellatrix kill Hermione.
Mm.
And
that would have been as serious though.
Oh my
Feel like
gosh,
Well, Sirius was already gone, so.
Yeah. But yeah, but that would have been a step too far, with doing Hermione, but with Sirius. But yeah. Anyway,
I think
I
that
don't
would
know
have
why
been
I brought that up
hilarious.
now.
I mean, honestly, no, that's actually a perfect example of what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah, that's
joking
sure.
about, like, oh, I just killed Sirius Black. What are you gonna do? Like, come get me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wanted her dead when she did that.
Yeah, I wanted to choke her.
I killed Sirius Black.
I
I
think
killed Sirius Black.
I think another way that a DM can use humor in a horrifying, instigative way is like the humor of the unknown, right? And my example that I think about this is when Sam's character had drawn in the deck of many things a mortal enemy that appeared somewhere in the world, right? And so it's actually kind of funny not knowing, or him not knowing who in the world is this mortal enemy that he now has that is coming to destroy him. And so it's like this like tension that you have of not knowing who it is, but it's also kind of funny at the same time where like who could it be? Is it Mop Kid? Is Mop Kid his mortal enemy?
I
Who is?
would have been so sad if it was.
It shows you how little I care about Mop Kid that it wasn't.
Mop Kid is a very important character.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's literally nothing.
He represents the struggle that each of us go through in life in order to get what we achieve.
No. Don't read. That's like your English teacher trying to be like, why were the curtains blue? Okay.
He literally got a job on one of the most famous ships ever that
It wasn't.
may or may not have become a nuke.
It wasn't. It didn't become a nuke. He literally was just a random character that I think Andy originally created before Kurt was on the boat. And then all of a sudden you guys are like, I love Mop Kid.
We love Mop Kid.
I think of another situation where that dark humor DM has is in the Curse of Strahd campaign with Brayden's character. When you guys first got to Barovia, there was mentions constantly of you don't say Strahd, you don't say his name, right? Like you say his name, like bad things are going to happen. And Brayden's character was like, this is stupid. I can say what I want. So he literally went around the street yelling his name, was just like, nothing's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, as a DM, I'm over here like, this is going to be really funny. Strahd appears. And it just is like, and this is their first instant. This is like a CR8. I think it was technically CR13 bad guy against your guys' level 5. Like he could have easily soloed Cloud. Like just right there, just kill Cloud and it's over, be gone. But he used that as an opportunity to be like, you've entered my domain. You guys, I know you're here to kill me. Let's go. Like here I am, kind of deal. And so, like, as a DM, I'm over here like, ha, 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 suckers, like, let's go. I guess a little bit of Bahamut, too, appearing recently. You know, it's just like, for me, it's this humorous thing of just like, you guys can try all you want, but understand, I, as Bahamut, I control the situation. You know, I'm in charge. You guys are not in charge. And to me, as a DM, and like a little bit is that there's humor of that in the darkness, right? So I don't know if that 100% goes along with it. I think another way, I want to bring up Legends of Evantris real fast. I've been listening to their podcast, and they are phenomenal. The DM is phenomenal. I'm listening to Uprooted right now. That podcast, that campaign, and Mikey does such a good job at just rolling with what the players give, and they'll go log and they'll just be like, my favorite part is like the perverts in the building, okay, in the mansion. And they're just be like they just like, there's a pervert here. And then all of a sudden he was like, yeah, there's countless perverts in the mansion. And he just rolled with it the whole time. And that's just a way of like the DM. It's something I'm trying to put in a little bit, is a little bit more humor. So it's not as like of a serious, stressful, dark campaign. Cause I know our group doesn't always want to be in that. So like, for example, Georgette was kind of that role of a random person that appeared that is just there for humor kind of deal. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Georgette will just kind of appear out of, oh, how's everyone going? You know, just like, I'm so excited to see Farron. And just the joke about that. So
that is a remarkable Bitsy.
I know. I'm really glad that I can do a Bitsy voice. Every character is going to be either Bitsy, Southern, Irish,
Scottish,
or British. Yeah, Scottish.
Scotland.
Yeah, that's the kind of character y'all will get now. So my limited scope of voice acting. So yeah, that was just a way. I think Legends of Vantress, just a DM being able to roll with what your players give, that's an essential, like a very, very good skill a DM can have in their arsenal. Anything else before we wrap up? Well, Daniel, it was good to have you on.
We'll talk to you again in 6 months.
Yeah.
Hey, fair enough.
What if?
Fair enough.
What if instead of like Strahd showing up when you say his name and people are like, something bad's gonna happen, something bad happens but has nothing to do with Strahd, like you get served after you say it?
Yeah, you just say Strahd and you get like
You get served like
you get
a lawsuit.
oh yeah, a lawsuit or something like that. You get just like deathly ill, a restraining order.
Like, says his name, he makes a nickel,
and he's doing a restraining order against you.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but I do not want you next to me. You've been shouting my name for 3 weeks. Yeah, but Daniel, thank you for coming on. You will be on for next episode as well. So if you guys want more Daniel, you get some more
Daniel
next episode. And if you want more of him, let us know in the comments and like and subscribe and comment about it. So we like having Daniel on. Daniel has a lot of good thoughts. So yes. Make sure if you're not following us on social media, you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Beyond the Tavern Wall. You can also follow us on Spotify, your respective podcasting platform. Follow us, rate 5 stars, do whatever the heck you do on those platforms. I don't know if there's like 1,000 different platforms, so whatever it is, just go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns you want to share with us, you can email us at beyondthetavernwall@gmail.com or shoot us a DM over on TikTok or Instagram. We'll try to answer those as quickly as we can. And as always, the best way to support the podcast, besides sharing and commenting our episodes and all that, is by sharing by word of mouth. You can go into your friends, your D&D groups, or whoever it may be. Sharing the podcast with them really helps us out a ton. And I am the man with the side quest today. I don't know why I said it like that. I apologize.
I like this new Braden. Say it again.
No.
Oh.
Yes, and
I will give the side quest now. The side quest you are going to have today, everyone, is you're going to share the podcast with your DM. Just that. Share it with your DM. If you're playing, Braden. If you don't have, hold up, so I know what you're going to do. Hold up, I have one more. If you don't have a DM, share it with your funniest friend. That's your 2. If you have a DM, share it with them because obviously they are your funniest friend. And then if you don't have a DM, share the podcast with them. Sam, what are you going to say?
Riley. You added funniest friend. I have to call Riley now.
But you have a DM.
I mean, I don't respect his authority, so is he really my master?
I am in some places.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys so much for going out to the tavern tonight, and we will catch you back here next Wednesday.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Bye.